What's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma if you're new here, and I love to talk about all things Peloton cycling and fitness. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I post every single Sunday, and today's video will be me trying out the last split program on Peloton that's currently available on the app. It is Ben Alldis's 5-day intermediate split. The description is maximize your workouts by split training with Ben. Increase strength and build muscle in this 1-week guide program by using heavier weight and targeting specific areas of the body in each workout. Repeat and track your progress. So it is 5 days, 1 week, 30 minutes per day, and I really love Ben Alldis on the bike. He's my favorite cycling instructor. He's not my favorite strength instructor, but he's definitely up there. I like his personality, like his music choices. I like the way that he structures classes, so I'm excited to see how he structures the split program. And after I take this split program, I'm going to finally choose one and commit to it. So far, I'm definitely leaning towards Jermaine Johnson's 3-day intermediate split, but I will give Ben Alldis a fair shot. So today is class 1, day 1. It is a 30-minute chest and triceps class by Ben Alldis, tagged intermediate. The description is grab your weights and join us for this hard-hitting split workout designed to strengthen your chest and back. And whenever I see triceps, I know there will be push-ups, but you know, we will prevail. I definitely like when the instructors choose things that like go together more than doing like legs and arms. Like I like that this just focuses on chest and triceps. And I really don't know what to expect because every instructor usually like puts their own twist on the split program. So let's go to the gym and knock out class 1 and work out those chest and tris. That workout was definitely simple, but also effective. It is my first time doing a strength class in like 3 weeks because when I was home in Pennsylvania, I don't have a lot of weights, so I only did body weight strength. So that could be part of it, but man, oh man, my arms were shaking today. So we started off with a body weight warm up. Always love a nice body weight warm up. I think it was like 4 or 5 minutes. We just did a lot of basic moves like push-ups. We did some like hip dips. We, warmed up the chest, did some chest openers. It was pretty basic, pretty simple. Then we moved on to the main set. And for the main set, we did 3 different sets of moves and we repeated each one 4 times. Ben said to grab medium and heavy weights and he was using 15 pounds and 20 pounds. So I was like, okay, I'm not on the same level as Ben, so let me grab at 10 and 15. I definitely like to have 10-pound weights when we're doing tricep work anyways, and I think those were the right weights for me. So the first set we did chest presses, which he said to use your heavy weights for, so I was using 15. Might have been able to go up to 20 for that, but I feel like because we repeated the move so often, 15 was fine. And the other move in the set was a tricep overhead extension, and he said to use heavy weights, but then he went down to his medium weights and I also went down to my medium weights because I found 15 pounds to be kind of hard for that, especially because the set was 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off, and we repeated the set 4 times with no like additional break in between the different circuits. So we just went at that for 8 minutes straight. Definitely a good workout. And yeah, my arms were shaking probably by the second set. I do appreciate repeating moves because I feel like once you learn it and get the form right, then you can keep doing it and potentially progress weight. But I do think that I was getting a little bit bored in this class because we would only do 2 moves and then we would repeat it 4 times and each move was 45 seconds. So we were doing these moves quite a lot. But I guess that is effective. Then for the second set, same thing, 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off. We did chest flies, which I used my medium weights, which were 10 pounds. I tried to go up to 15 pounds for one set and it was just really, really hard. So then I went back to 10, especially since we're repeating it so much with little recovery. And then the second move was tricep extensions, which I also used my medium weights, which I think was the right weight. repeated that 4 times, and then we went into the third set, which I knew was coming. It was normal push-ups. I did a couple off my knees, but the majority of them I did on my knees, and then skull crushers, which I did with my medium weights. 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off, repeated that 4 times. Definitely a very predictable class, which is not necessarily a bad thing, and I usually like it. I just felt like it was a little bit boring just because the moves were so basic and we were repeating them so often, but I didn't hate it. We got through it. I'm excited to see what the rest of the classes are like. I just feel like usually there's like a little surprise at the end or something different, and we stuck to the same set format the entire time. So if you don't like surprises, I would probably recommend this class, but we'll see how the rest of the week goes. Besides that, I enjoyed Ben, liked his music choices, got a lot of rock in there, and it was still a really great workout, and I'm excited to continue this split program. Also, I mentioned this in all my other split videos, but I don't have the Peloton guide. I just do it in our apartment gym, and I don't have any issues. Like, it's definitely very easy to do without the Peloton guide. I think it would be cool to try it with the Peloton guide, but alas, I don't have one right now. It's now the next day. It's Tuesday morning, and I go back to work today after being off for the holidays. But before that, we will be doing the next strength class in this program. It is class 2, a 30-minute back, biceps, and legs class by Ben Alldis, tagged intermediate. The description is, get ready to build muscle in your back, biceps, and legs with this jam-packed split workout. And I'm not sure how much I'll like it since it's like back, biceps, and legs. I feel like you can do exercises that go together, but I'm definitely interested to see how Ben organizes this. I actually woke up and I'm a little sore in my triceps and my chest from yesterday's class. I actually already did a yoga class before this just to kind of stretch out yesterday's like soreness and then also prepare myself for today. I think I'm mostly sore just because I haven't lifted weights in a while. I don't think it was necessarily because that class was really hard yesterday, but I don't know. We'll see as the week continues. So let's go to the gym and knock out this 30-minute strength class. I really enjoyed that class, definitely more than yesterday's, but I also think that I just like leg workouts more. It was structured very similarly to yesterday's, but he did mix it up a little bit, which I appreciated. I thought it kept it a little more interesting. So we started out with like 5-minute body weight warm up, very typical. We did do some push-ups in there, and I was like, why are we doing push-ups? But thankfully, we didn't do any push-ups in the main set. So we got into it. It was structured the same, that it was like 3 different circuits, and you repeated the circuit 4 times, 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off. And it was always 2 moves that you repeated in the circuit. Ben also said to grab medium and heavy weights. I grabbed 15 and 20. He said he was grabbing 15 and 25, but I was worried if I got 10 and 20 that 10 would be too light, and 15 was definitely a push, but I feel like it was good for me. Like, I'm happy with my 15 and 20 pound grab, and maybe in the future I could even try going up to 15 and 25 pounds and match Ben. It is interesting because I feel like he's not going as hard as he could be when like some instructors definitely pick up way heavier weights, but I don't really know. So we got into the first set. It was bicep curls and then racking the weights up and doing squats. And Ben said to use medium weights for both, which I thought was good. Definitely a challenge, 15 pounds for bicep curls. For squats, that's not like a super big challenge, but you were doing a lot of squats at the end of it. Like, you did 45 seconds of squats 4 times. So towards the end, I could definitely feel the burn even with 15 pounds when like typically I might go up to 20. So I do feel like the 15 pounds was good. And we did bicep curls for the first 2 rounds of the circuit, but then the last 2 rounds we switched to hammer curls, which was a very small change, but I think that it kept it a little more interesting compared to yesterday where we did all the same moves 4 times in a row. Then our second set, we did bent over rows and then like a split squat, split lunge. So like you put one foot in front of the other and then like went down into a lunge up and down, and then you would like switch sides halfway through. Ben said to use medium weights again, which I did. 15 pounds for the bent over rows was definitely a challenge, but you know, I made it through. And then I probably could have actually gone up to 20 pounds for the split squats, but I did not. And it was okay. It was definitely like still a challenge, but probably could push myself a little bit more next time. And then the last circuit was crossbody bicep curls, where you brought it to your shoulder, and then deadlifts. And I did 15 pounds for the crossbody bicep curls and 20 pounds for the deadlift. Definitely was shaking a little bit at the end, but I thought that it was a push. And honestly, I think I probably could have gone up to 25, since that was the only time that I was using heavy weights in this class. And for the crossbody bicep curls, we did those only 2 times. And then we did bent over chest flies for the last 2 times, which were really, really hard with 15 pounds. That was like the only time that I was like, I really want to go on to 10 pounds, but you know, I made it through. I feel like part of split training is, even if the weight is heavy, to just go slower, get less reps in, but like get good heavy reps in. And that was the whole class. It was done before I knew it. I definitely liked the like switching in some of the circuits just to keep it a little more interesting. And I also like leg day a lot more. So that definitely influences me liking this class a lot more. But I thought it might feel like more scattered and more like not put together than it was. But because we do so few moves, it still felt like a cohesive class in my mind. So 2 thumbs up to the class. I really liked it today. Lots of fun. Ben was great. The music was great. And tomorrow is a rest day. So I will see you guys Thursday morning. It is now Thursday morning. I had a rest day from this program yesterday, but I actually went on a long run. So I was a little tight this morning, but I've already done some yoga before coming into this class. But I'm now ready for class 3 in the split program. It is a 30-minute upper body push class by Ben Alldis, tagged intermediate. The description is target your chest, shoulders, and triceps in this dynamic upper body push workout. So it should be pretty similar to day 1, I think, that was just chest and triceps, or just adding shoulders. But you know, I like a good push class, besides the fact that there'll probably be push-ups in it. And yeah, I'm ready. I'm feeling refreshed. I was definitely a little sore yesterday morning from the back, biceps, and legs class that I took on Tuesday morning, but we're all good now, ready to come at day 4, class 3. Let's go to the gym, knock out this class, and hit the weights. That class was not my favorite. It felt very hectic, and I think it's because in the previous classes, we did 3 sets and repeated each set like 3 times, while in this class, we did 4 sets and repeated each set 2 times. So it just felt like we were like doing a lot, and like we'd only repeat each move 2 times, and then we were like on to the next set. So we had a warm up, I believe it was 5 minutes, body weight, like no real complaints, very typical warm up. We warmed up the shoulders, we warmed up the chest, triceps, we were ready to go. And then I actually wrote down what we did, because we did so many moves and they all like were very similar. So I was like, I'm gonna forget these sets. Ben also said to grab medium and heavy weights and didn't say what weight he grabbed, which made it hard for me. I chose 10 and 20 pounds because I thought 15 pounds would be too hard for some of the tricep moves, especially in like the format that Ben does, because he does everything like 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off. So like not a ton of recovery. So I didn't want to go up to 15 pounds for that. But I felt like 10 pounds was a little too easy at some points. So maybe like a 12.5 would have been perfect for me. And then my heavy weights, I did 20 pounds because usually when I do like chest presses, 20 pounds is a push for me. 15 is too easy. And I thought 20 pounds was fine. Like it was the right weight for me. We didn't actually use the heavy weights that often, pretty much only for chest presses. So definitely like push yourself, and you can probably go up more than like only 5 pounds from your light weights. I definitely would have preferred if he gave us a range or like told us what we were going to use the weights for, but he's just like grab medium and heavy. And I'm like, okay. So then we got into the first set. The first move was overhead shoulder presses. He said to use light weights, 10 pounds. That was definitely like a little bit easy for me, but we're also doing this for like 45 seconds, which is kind of a long time. So I think that 15 pounds would have been too much, especially because afterwards we went into lateral raises, and 15 pounds would be like very hard for me to do lateral raises. I have done it before, but not easily. And then after that, we did overhead tricep extensions, which Ben also said to either use one light weight or both of your light weights. So I actually grabbed one of my heavy weights because my heavy weight's 20 pounds and two light weights would be 10 pounds each. So it would have been the same amount of weight, but I definitely prefer to do the tricep overhead extensions with just one weight. So I felt like that was like a pretty good set. The tricep extension was definitely the hardest thing that I did. Then we went into the second set. The first move was chest presses on your back. I did heavy weights, and that's what Ben said. I thought that was a great push. He said to use your heavy weights for chest flies. I cannot do 20-pound chest flies. I can barely do 15-pound chest flies. So I used my light weights, which were 10 pounds, and a little bit easy, but honestly, like not that easy. And especially because you don't get a lot of recovery, I thought it was still a push. And then we finished off with some push-ups. Then the third set was push presses, and I believe that Ben said to use his light weights, but I was like 10 pounds is way too light for this. So I used my heavy weights, and that was definitely a push. Push presses are not my favorite in general, but you know, we made it through. Then we did front raises, which is like the lateral raises, but in the front. I used my light medium weights, which is what Ben said to use. And then we finished off with tricep kickbacks, which I probably could have gone up to like 15 pounds for this. Honestly, I probably should have gotten 10, 15, and 20 and like did a little bit of modifying depending on what I think I could push up to. But I still thought it was a pretty good workout because again, not a lot of recovery. And then we finished off the workout with our last set, which was chest presses again with the heavy weights, skull crushers with the light medium weights, and then push-ups where you're like holding the dumbbells and doing push-ups. I don't know what it is. I think Ben said that you use your triceps more when you do that, but it makes push-ups way harder for me. He's like, oh, it makes it easier for some and harder for others. I'm in the camp of it makes it harder. I can't imagine that anyone thinks that's easier, but if you do think it's easier to do push-ups when you're holding dumbbells, like let me know. I'd be curious if you know why it's easier for you. And then the workout was done. Honestly, even talking about it was a little exhausting. We really went through a lot of moves, and I don't know, it just like wasn't my favorite. I like when we repeat the move more than twice. Like I want to repeat it 3-4 times, like really get into it. And then I also feel like I struggled picking weights. If I did this class again, I would definitely just get 3 sets of weights and then kind of like modify based on what I think, because I definitely couldn't have done just 15 and 20 pounds because the 15 pounds would have been too hard at some point. But I like the 20 pounds. Like when we did the chest presses with 20 pounds, that was the right weight for me. So I don't know. For difficulty, I would give this like a 6 to 7 out of 10, but that's definitely because I didn't push myself on weights enough. And then for enjoyment, I'd also give it like a 6 out of 10. Definitely a letdown from the past 2 days because I definitely like the past 2 days way more than this. So I don't know. We'll have to see how the rest of the week goes. It is now Friday morning, and you guys know I love Fridays. So close to the weekend, and I'm not sore at all from the strength class I did yesterday, which is always good. We're going in feeling very good today, and we're going to be doing class 4. It is a 30-minute upper body pull class by Ben Alldis, tagged intermediate. The description is grab your weights and get ready for this upper body split workout focused on strengthening your back and biceps. And this should be pretty similar to day 2. That was back, biceps, and legs. And I like day 2. So hopefully today will also be good. And let's go to the gym and just knock out this strength workout. That class was structured very similarly to yesterday's class, which was not my favorite. I think I liked this class a little bit more than yesterday, but I think that it's only because I just like these moves better. I like doing pull day rather than push day because it was structured pretty much exactly the same. So we had a quick 3-minute bodyweight warm up, no real complaints onto that, but then we had 4 sets and we repeated each set twice. 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off with 30-second recovery in between each repeat. So we were really going at it. It was going fast and furious. We really plowed through a lot of moves, which is good, I guess, because you get to try a bunch of different moves, but I like repeating the same move for a long time. Ben said to grab medium and heavy weights. I think he said that he grabbed 15 and 25. I grabbed 15 and 20, and I actually never went up to the heavy weights. For the majority of the class, you're supposed to use your medium weights. And then I think in the last set, he was like, you can use your heavy weights, but I thought that the medium weights were right for me. Like 15-pound bicep curls is a challenge for me. So I didn't feel like I could go up to 20 for anything. But I am glad that I grabbed 15 pounds for the medium because I think 10 pounds would have been like way too easy / like not enough of a challenge. So I did feel like 15 pounds was good. So we started off and the first set was bicep curls, then bent over rows, and then hammer curls, 15 pounds for all of those. That was a challenge for me, something I can definitely do, but like not super easy, especially with little recovery. Then after that set, he started adding core into the sets, which actually I didn't not like, which is surprising because I'm not a huge fan of core, but I do think that it's important to work it out. And I feel like he kind of just drizzled it in there and, you know, you got the core down, but then you weren't like just focusing on core. So I felt like it integrated very nicely. So the second set were renegade rows and he said to do those on your knees and use medium weights, then a scissor kick, and then a reverse fly, which was also with medium weights. This was probably the hardest move for me out of the entire class. Typically when I do reverse flies, I do them with 10 pounds because 15 pounds is very hard, but I just went very slow and it was okay. The scissor kicks were a good challenge for 45 seconds, and I have no real problem with renegade rows. They're like a middle of the road exercise for me. Not my favorite, but definitely not my least favorite. So we got through the second set. Then for the third set, Ben really got into the core. So the first move was a high plank, which I'm actually okay with planks. I find them to be easier than a lot of the other core moves. Then we did Zottman curls, which is where you do a bicep curl and then you like turn your wrist and bring your arm down like that, which I think are pretty hard. I don't know if I've ever tried 15 pounds before for those. I typically do 10. It was a challenge with 15, but again, I just like move slower and I feel like it's a good workout. And then we finished with some bicycle kicks, which are definitely not my favorite, but we got through it. We did that 2 times and then we went into the final set, which were crossbody curls 1 at a time. And this is where he said to use heavy weights if possible. 20 pounds for that is like not possible for me. 15 pounds was still a challenge. I was still moving pretty slow. So I didn't feel bad about not going up. Then we did wide grip bent over rows and we finished out with mountain climbers, and mountain climbers are not my favorite, but you know, I guess that's the flip side of when you do a lot of different sets. If you really don't like a move, like you're only doing it twice in this class. So that was kind of like a positive, especially for some of the core. Like core is not my favorite. So even if we did a core move I didn't really like, at least I only had to do it twice. But I definitely do feel like I like the classes that you repeat the moves more often. Like I just feel like I get into the groove of things more. But Ben was great. The music was great. It was a well put together class. It just felt like a little rushed to me. And yeah, I'd rather have less sets, more repetition. Also, Ben kept referencing that yesterday you were supposed to take a rest day, which is like not what the program says. It says to take a rest day after day 2 and day 4. So I thought that was interesting that Ben is just saying something different than the way that the program is on the Peloton app. I definitely don't think it's the biggest deal. It just feels like an oversight that could have easily not been an oversight. And tomorrow I'm supposed to take another rest day and then finish up on Sunday according to the app. But I am busy on Sunday, so I'll be doing the last class in the split tomorrow. I think it'll be fine. I don't think I'll be that sore from today. So today's class, I'd give like a 7 to 7.5 out of 10 for honestly difficulty and enjoyment. For me, enjoyment and difficulty are linked together pretty well up to a certain point. If it's like a super hard class, like I'm not gonna have a good time, I'm gonna have a bad attitude. But for the most part, I do want to be challenged. And I don't know if making it harder would have made it more enjoyable for me to like grab heavier weights. I think it was mostly just the structure, but I'm excited to see how Ben is going to wrap up the program tomorrow. It is now Saturday morning and I'm not sore at all from yesterday's workout class, and I also did some morning yoga. So I'm feeling good, ready to attack this last class in this split. It is class 5. It's a 30-minute legs and shoulders class by Ben Alldis, tagged intermediate. The description is, join us on the mat for this upper and lower body split workout focused on strengthening your legs and your shoulders. And I really like legs, and I also like shoulders a lot too. So I think I'll really like this class, and it'll be a good way to end off the split. So let's go to the gym and just knock out this last strength class. This was Ben's redemption class. I really enjoyed this class. So it was a great way to wrap up the split. So we did, I think like a 3 to 4 minute body weight warm up. Very typical. And it was the only time that we were on the mat. So this was all like standing exercises, which, you know, sometimes I like it's nice to just stand the whole workout. So we started off, we did 3 main sets and we repeated each set 4 times. So very similar to like his day 1 and day 2 class schedule, which I like a lot more than what he did on day 3 and day 4. So I was very happy with that. He said to grab medium and heavy weights, and he was using 15 and 25. I actually grabbed 15, 20, 25 because I wanted to push myself on deadlifts specifically. I feel like I can go up to 25 pounds for deadlifts, but my squats and like lunges, I still need 20 pounds. So we started off, first set only had 2 different moves, 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off. He has kept true to that the entire split training program. So the first move was shoulder presses, which he said to use your medium weights for. And the second move was a squat, which he said to use your medium weights. But then after the first set, he was like, if that's too easy, go up to your heavy weights. So I did 15 pounds for both on my first round. And then I went up to 20 pounds for the squat for the second round. And you rack the weight on your shoulders. And that's definitely a simple, like easy move that is very effective. Like I was really feeling it. It's easy to understand how to do, but those squats really add up, especially with 45 seconds and then only 15 seconds off. And 15 pounds on the shoulders was definitely a push for me, but I felt good. Then we got into the second set, which was deadlifts. I pushed up to 25-pound dumbbells. And honestly, I feel like I could have pushed up to 30, but my biggest struggle with that is grip strength. I need to seriously start looking into things that I can do to improve my grip strength because it is so bad. I know that it's more of a problem for women than men, that like women have way worse grip strength, but I need to like start doing exercises so that I can start tackling heavier weights. If you have advice, please let me know. I would be very curious. I need to do research because I don't even know. I'm sure there's exercises I could be doing to help with that. But right now it's so weak. Like my hands were struggling so much to just hold the 25-pound dumbbells in front of me. And the deadlifts didn't even feel that hard. And then for the shoulder movement in this set, we did 2 of front raises and 2 of lateral raises with our medium weights, so 15 pounds. Definitely a challenge for me. I was going slow, but we made it through. And I also like when Ben like changes the move halfway through, only like one, just to kind of like mix up the set a little bit. And like lateral raises and front raises are very similar, but it is just kind of like getting in a new move, keeping it a little bit more interesting. And then the final final set, we wrapped up with push presses for the shoulders. I did 15 pounds. That's definitely getting easier for me. I used to really struggle with 15 pounds, and now I don't think I want to push up to 20 yet, but it's starting to feel good, and I feel like I'm building strength. And then for the legs, we did 2 rounds of split squats where we would like do 22 seconds on the left side and then alternate 22 seconds on the right side. And then for the other 2, we did alternating reverse lunges, and I did 20 pounds for both of those moves. And honestly, I felt like I could push up to the 25 pounds on those. Like 20 pounds felt good, but not super, super challenging. But my grip strength was still dying from the deadlifts. Like grip strength is a really big problem. I don't know. I feel like it was worse today than normal, but it's something that I definitely need to focus on in the future. So this class, I would give like an 8.5 out of 10 for enjoyment, maybe like a 7.5 out of 10 for difficulty, but I definitely could have like pushed myself harder too. But I did really like this class. It was probably my favorite out of all 5 days of the split. I just really like legs, so that helps a lot. And I feel like shoulders might be my favorite upper body too. So it was just like a lot of good moves for me. Overall, I like the split program, but I didn't love it, mostly because of the push and pull days. I feel like if those were structured differently, I would like this program a lot more, but I probably won't repeat this program. Honestly, the 5-day split programs are a lot. Like it's quite a commitment to say that you're going to do strength workouts 5 days a week, considering I usually only work out like 5 to 6 days a week. So that means almost every single day I'm working out, I'm doing strength, which if you can do that and commit to that, like that's great. And I'm sure you'll see a lot of progress. But I feel like personally for me, I will be able to stick to like a 3-day split program as I'm repeating it and work in, because I do like to do cycling, I do like to do running, I like to do yoga. Like it's just easier if I'm not doing strength 5 days a week. But maybe in the future, I don't know, we'll see. I definitely think that Jermaine Johnson's split program is my favorite so far. So that's probably the one that I will stick to until Peloton comes out with even more split programs. But I'm happy to have landed on one, happy to have tried all of them. If you have the time, I highly recommend trying all of them. They only take a week each and you really get a feel for like what the instructor does. That's the other thing. I feel like every instructor had like a fun twist, or I don't know if you consider it to be fun, but they had a twist at the end. Like for Jermaine, he had like little AMRAPs and EMOMs at the end, and he'd also do like supersets of all the moves we've done. And I felt like that kept it a little more interesting than Ben would just have sets and then you were done. I also feel like that's more of Ben's personality. He's more like strict in that way, and he's more like, let's just get in, do this, and get out. But definitely compared to a lot of other instructors that like try to put their own little twist on it, it felt like a little boring. But definitely let me know if you've taken Ben Alldis' split program, what you think and what your favorite split program is so far. Or if you do other strength training on the Peloton, I would be very curious what you do. I have been eyeing up the total strength program, but I also really like the split program. So I don't know if I should just stick with what I know that I like. Let me know. I would be curious. That is it for this video. I hope you guys are staying safe, having an awesome week, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.